I don't know if you get a chance to check out my channel, but one of the main things I talk about is music marketing for artists, and I specifically focus on Facebook ads, which I usually recommend as like the #1 tool for an artist to promote their music. But what I do tell people is that they should allocate 10% of their budget for SubmitHub credits, and the reason is because I found that like, I guess specifically talking about like Spotify playlists, the data you get from playlists, you usually get a lot of streams, but you don't get as much engagement as if you're sending fans directly to a song. But I notice a lot of artists when I recommend SubmitHub, like I tell them like avoid, I don't want to name drop a bunch of services, but I tell them avoid these and avoid like playlist pitching companies. Just use SubmitHub. And a lot of artists will tell me like, I never got great results with it. I feel like it's just a scam or whatever. And I've had great results with my music on SubmitHub. What do you I think the people that are having bad results are probably just doing some stuff wrong. So in your experience, you obviously have much more than me seeing people submit to you, but what's like the #1 thing that you feel artists are just wasting their submissions and money on when they pitch to Indie Shuffle, for example?
Pitching the Indie Shuffle is a bit of a pipe dream. We've got a 2% approval rate. So right. I think if you're going to send to us, you got to have your expectations in the right place and realize that we're getting 100 submissions that day, and we're going to blog 2 or 3 of them. So your odds of getting approved are pretty slim. Backing up a bit, I think the response that you see is varied, right? For some people, they say, no, I've had some success. Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes this does and that. Other artists you'll see go, man, that was the biggest waste of money ever. It's a total scam.
Yeah.
There's so many factors involved. It begins with your song, right? Not all songs are created equal. Some people make better songs than others. In 2020, I would say that 95% plus of the songs going through SubmitHub are properly mixed, properly produced, and high quality. So just having a song that was done well is not going to help you. I often see artists go, my song was mixed by so-and-so and produced by this guy, and how could you decline that person? It basically means you hate their work. And your song might sound really technically good, but it has to have that je ne sais quoi, that magical thing that just speaks to listeners, right? So that's step one, and that magical thing is impossible. If we all knew how to do it, we wouldn't be in this situation. We'd be like those guys who write Taylor Swift songs, right? They know how to do it.
Exactly.
We don't know how to do it. It takes a lot of skill, and very few people have figured it out throughout the history of humankind. So that's one of the first things. And then the second one comes down to targeting and who you're sending your song to. And I think a big mistake that a lot of people make when they come onto SubmitHub is to use a Counter-Strike reference, spray and pray, right? And then on the side, they pull the trigger and hope something hits. But the reality is by just loosely throwing your credits out there, you're probably wasting them because you're not paying attention to whether that curator is going to like your style of music or is even worth it. So the top tips I'm always going to give people is look at the genre match. It's a score that we create on SubmitHub based on that curator's history within your genre. So that's one of the easiest, most obvious signals you can look at. And anyone with a genre match score below 4, you should take a double look at, right?
Right.
I wouldn't say don't send to them. I'll give you an example. Indie Shuffle has a genre match of like 2.5 for indie rock. And you go, well, that's kind of weird. Indie Shuffle covers a shitload of indie rock. And it's actually because we get sent so much that we're so picky within the genre that we're actually less likely to approve it. So there are cases where it's not the be all and end all, but if someone's got a genre match score higher than 4 out of 5, that's a strong signal that they're probably worth sending to.